Iran's return coming as the crisis in the Mideast grows. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says Israel will retaliate for Iranian missile strikes that hit a hospital in southern Israel and apartment buildings near Tel Aviv. At least 240 people were hurt, including 80 patients and workers in the hospital. Now President Trump says he will decide soon next steps for the U.S.
Alan Devlin following developments for us. He's in studio with the latest, Alan.
Yeah, Dick and KJ, this one's going to move really fast here. And by soon, he means within the next 2 weeks. That's the timeline he's working on, the president that is, primarily because Donald Trump thinks there's a chance that negotiations with Iran are successful. But he also made it clear he's not afraid to fight fire with fire.
Iranian missiles seen flying over Jerusalem Thursday as attacks between Iran and Israel intensify. The IDF continuing strikes on Iranian nuclear sites. Damage was prevalent in Ramat Gan, Israel, after dozens were injured in the area overnight, according to the IDF.
Nobody should be surprised by the president's position that Iran absolutely cannot obtain a nuclear weapon.
White House Press Secretary Carolyn Leavitt addressed media Thursday afternoon and announced President Donald Trump is close to making a final decision on U.S. involvement in the conflict. Based on the fact that there is a substantial chance of negotiations that may or may not take place with Iran in the near future, said President Trump in a statement released Thursday, I will make my decision whether or not to go within the next 2 weeks.
He is a peacemaker in chief. He is the peace through strength president. And so if there's a chance for diplomacy, the president's always going to grab it. But he's not afraid to use strength as well.
President Trump has been briefed on both the risk and the benefits of bombing Iran's most secure nuclear site, Fordow, and sources tell CBS News he believes disabling it is necessary. He had this to say to the press Wednesday.
Iran can't have a nuclear weapon. Too much devastation. And they'd use it. I believe they'd use it.
And Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu echoed that belief Thursday as he surveyed damage from overnight Iranian missile attacks, adding negotiations with Iran and allies have stalled.
You don't string along Donald Trump. He knows the game. And I think that we're both committed to making sure that Iran will not have a nuclear weapon.
While the president hasn't moved to officially join Israel's attacks, he is strategically moving U.S. military assets to the region, including fighter jets and aircraft carriers.
And so 2 weeks puts us right at Thursday, July 3rd. But a peace deal being reached, or the action to go, as the president said, could happen anytime between now and then. KJ and Dick, we're going to keep our eyes on this one.
We certainly will. Very close one. Thank you, Alan.
Thanks, Alan. Stay with CBS News New York for the very latest in the crisis in the Middle East, on air and online at cbsnewyork.com.